And we're live from the Uncommonwealth Pandemic Studios.
You were going to say pandemia, weren't you? Like
I
Piers.
was, and I didn't want to steal. I was like, that's Piers's thing. We're live from the Uncommonwealth Virtual Podcast Studios in 4 undisclosed locations. Welcome to another fun-filled Uncommonwealth podcast episode.
Woo! Great. And we have a theme today. Wait, do we say that? This is going to go so badly. The theme is coups, right?
I thought it was coups. I thought it was 2-door convertible cars.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The theme is that place where chickens live.
Chicken coops. I did figure out what coup d'etat literally translate. It's like a stroke of a state. That's where the term comes from. Like it's like the state has a stroke. I don't know. You know me and etymology.
That's what you know
shit
for.
Out of this stuff.
Oh, I love etymology.
Katherine,
I get every time I go to a Chinese place.
Call you.
I get those.
So I mean, hopefully none of us do the same coups. But the one I chose was this 1973 Chilean coup d'etat.
Thank God. I was nervous.
You guys,
I was nervous you picked the same one as me.
I feel like even though Piers is only doing one segment, we probably all have picked Piers's segment.
I know. I'm going third. I'm sweating.
He prepared 4 coups just so we'd have one original one.
Well,
I love when he said that he has the same segment as me, and then it was just a different Indian woman.
Yeah.
I do love that you picked a coup outside of the Commonwealth, though. That was smart.
There's a
that
reason for this.
That was a good way to not get
clever.
Oh.
There's a reason for this. First of all, it is because it happened during wait, hang on, let me make sure I get this right. Yes.
If you say the Nixon administration.
Yes, it did.
Way.
No, that's why.
The Nixon administration of 1775.
I poured over the research, as you can imagine, for hours on hand during my quarantine with my 3-month-old baby, late at night, trying to find a coup that happened because Nixon made it happen, and this one did. Seriously, so what happened in 1973, which is the coup happened on September 11th, weirdly. So September 11th was already a ominous day before the U.S. took that away from Chile. Pardon?
For Chileans.
Yeah, but I know, but like then the U.S. is like, no, our thing is bigger, you know, which maybe it is. That might be troublesome to say. Okay. But anyway, 1973, Nixon is in power, and he is
Katherine, that must have come as a big surprise to you, by the way, during your research.
It really did. And he put in a bunch of economic sanctions because there was a democratically elected socialist president, President Salvador Allende, I'm going to say. I actually looked up the pronunciation, and that's right-ish. And so that was the government that was in place, and he was supported by Castro because it was like relatively left-wing, and Nixon was so freaked out by Castro and what was happening in Cuba that he was like, we need to find some guy to go in there and overthrow this government. So it was a CIA-backed coup d'etat. So they chose a real fucking dick to do this for them. They chose a guy named.
Do you mean like someone called Richard? Is that the guy? Or you say he's a bad dude?
He was a bad dude, and not named Richard, which would be a weird name in Chile. But his name was General Augusto Pinochet.
Ricardo.
Like his first name was General. What a coincidence.
Yeah, he was only a captain though, unfortunately.
But he was only a captain.
So
Pinochet.
He took Pinochet, which is a French name, which is weird. But anyway, he took over. It was completely CIA backed, and that was all like later released in CIA declassified documents. But he ended up having a 17-year dictatorial. Tic-tac-toe. That doesn't seem like a word.
Kath, I can't believe you pronounced his name correctly, but can't say dictatorial.
Dictatorial.
Dictatorial?
Dictatorial? Dictatorial.
So he managed the coup from a kind of a suburban area just outside Santiago.
If you want to manage a coup, you want to be in nice comfortable burbs. You don't want to be in that inner city environment.
Yes.
That's what they said. It was a suburban outpost that he managed.
Like a backyard for the kids.
Yeah.
There were, this was CIA backed because there were fighter jets. I mean, they weren't American fighter jets, but it was serious. And they actually...
Anytime you see fighter jets, you think CIA.
Oh, big time. That for those 4th of July parades, when they fly over, I'm like, the CIA is up to something.
I don't know. See,
you're
Snowden
in Beijing and you
agrees.
see fighter jets, you're like, the CIA. Oh. They're everywhere.
So anyway, they fired missiles on the government headquarters and the Allende, the existing president who was democratically elected and for all intents and purposes was actually a pretty decent president, but the US was against, committed suicide, even though they offered him safe passage, like if he wanted to leave, but he was too proud to do that. He killed himself in his office, and then that became a really shitty government for the people. They rounded up Marxist supporters and tortured them. It was a really disastrous kind of thing. And before the coup, Chile was considered a beacon of democracy in a place in South America that was not particularly democratic. So the U.S.
after the coup, they
Nixon,
developed baby back ribs.
Are they from Chile?
I don't get it.
Is that a Chilean dish? Or
no,
is that just way over my head?
Chile's the restaurant.
Chile's baby back ribs.
Okay. Different spelling, mate.
All right. I actually thought I did pretty well. It just
Katherine,
wasn't that entertaining.
I gotta
great.
say, I'm so impressed by your research. Usually, you wouldn't have any of those kind of details. That's very impressive.
Please do not check any of them.
Particularly whether or not this occurred during the Nixon administration.
That's for sure questionable.
Yeah.
Didn't even go that long.
So is this like the same thing as like the Argo movie, that you're saying that we know this because the CIA file is now unsealed, however many years after the fact that they're allowed to unseal it? Is that what happened?
How
we know this? At the time,
Freedom of Information Act kind of stuff.
But at the time, was America's involvement known, or was that all? That was all like super secret?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Bloody America, covertly causing coups all over the world.
They must have known from the fighter jets.
Oh, of course. Good point.
Yeah, it just says declassified documents later showed, but it wasn't public, that the CIA had for years attempted to get rid of that president. And then finally they found a guy that was willing to kill a lot of people to do it.
They found their dick.
Hates her.
And so what was the US?
So it's kind of crazy that the CIA. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no! What was the U.S. interest in Chile? Like, what was the sort of rare earth mineral or something that they were
baby back ribs?
Sorry.
Nixon was afraid that Marxism was going to sweep, everywhere was going to become a socialist
we were
country.
still terrified of communism at this point.
Yes.
I mean, that was the same thing in Nicaragua in the early '80s and stuff.
Yeah.
It was all about Afghanistan. It was all about communism spreading.
Yeah. Adam,
I just did that on 2 hours of sleep.
Woo! You really do look like you're at a mansion, the Vanderbilt mansion.
This is not a virtual background. This is.
I know.
There's never.
This is my library.
That suits you more.
I mean, the market's fantastic.
You should have seen this last night. It was like an eyes wide shut party in here.
The Library of Mount Sinclair, Adam's local residence. Who was it? Was it me or Piers next?
Do you guys see what happens when I do my research? Is that the segment becomes progressively less fun.
Like the Empire, we're almost done. We hope that you had lots of fun. Was it relevant? Probably not. But thanks for giving this part a shot. Stay tuned for the end of Uncommon Wealth, the podcast.